All right, got some agents running here. I've already knocked out 30 PRs. I'm about to head on a little work date. Stuff is moving and grooving. Push through and hand off to push further forward. All fronts, all batons, um, and need to catch up all PRs and GH. So right now I'm on Claude Code, on Fable, on a extension inside Cursor. And so you'll see here Claude Code connected over MCP, Claude Code. And then if I go to that orchestrator, one of these is Cursor. One of these is Cursor, but it's unclear. Can we add chips for the source slash app slash host? I want to see Cursor or um, Claude, desktop, etc., and see nice branded chips. So basically just talking to AI and then having AI talk to itself and controlling archetypes and perspectives and access. Also, this guy is actually really wise. Like his outfit is amazing. He's rich, he's loving it. Um, but he's a really, you can just tell. Like I've watched a few videos, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna build this guy's tech stack because he's dope. But yeah, we're pumping. We've already got two more PRs done while we waited, and I'll show you what a PR looks like. This one just got finished just now while we were on a call, while I was recording this. You could see it just, full on Opus 4.8, defining itself, full transparency, gets the job done. Um, Not sure what's going on here. Very rarely do we have fails. Usually just sessions, and then we have um, let's review this if you weren't aware so we can resolve and prevent failed sessions henceforth, as we do. So you can see in the last 24 hours, obviously it's been the evening, so it'll be pretty low, but like in the last 24 hours, I've had 8 hours of development time. Yesterday, I think I had 35 hours, 122 hours of 122 hours of development in the last 7 days. That's like a team of maybe 12 like coders, like average, decent, respectable coders. And you can compare it with hours in of like actual like development, 10 hours a week of actual like that's pretty reasonable. Um, you know, that's pretty like I feel like that's a fair estimate. I'd say the only data here that feels off is this and this, obviously the savings. So the data here that feels off to me is the merge rate feels pretty low. I want it to be correct, so I just want to understand it. Um, and are we counting sessions as merge rates? Because a session that's with like a orchestrator, that just ends up being ended and not completed. And so those are, I don't want those counting it against us. Those are completed, you know. Um, but they're yeah, that was a hard one. I'll let you decide there with logic. Um, but as you can see here in this image, another thing that looks off to me is the estimated savings. When I see 122 hours of development in the last 7 days, I see, whoa, that's as if I had a team of 12 developers putting in 10 hours each a week of typing and coding and solving and connecting and troubleshooting, right? I don't know the exact number. I'm okay being a little bit more conservative, but I just want to make sure that these continue to improve. I think we can make things a little bit even more. Yeah, I just think we can step it up a notch here with all of these icons. They're not active. I think we can make this look like really good. But estimated savings, shouldn't we run that against like the average cost of getting a team to develop that, but also the average cost of just like what are we actually measuring against, and how can we allow that to be adjusted for the user, I guess is another thing. So like measure this against the cost of like developers, or the cost of usage with other tools. And so you can see like I'm saving by using this as a software. I'm saving by using this as a service compared to these softwares and these, like how can we make it a simple way for consumers to and creators and enterprises to see their cost savings, because this will be something that you'll look at team wide as well, right? So you'll see your own information, but in projects, we should also add the ability to open a project page, and then you could see stats more deeply. And then projects need to be all the way. Oh. And so when you go to a project, we need to add like project pages. They need to become their own objects with that can be shared spaces, so we already have that dialed. But these need to be their own project pages in the sense that I can go to it or you can refer to it. And when we go to it, we can see more data and things regarding projects. And also, projects need to be up to date with their stats across the board. Right now, when we have a new user shared to a project, it starts to accrue as if they're only seeing the stats that have created since they joined. I've requested this to be fixed, but I just want to make sure. But yeah, a lot here to unwind and unravel and put together. That was a lot. That was like, that deserves an apology. But my point is like, bruh, a lot of this is catching up on our updates. I've got 37 thing, 33 things to merge, and we don't want to merge anything unless it's been like really thoroughly ran through. So these guys have been catching us up. So they're curing up things, but usually it's just features. Like common docs. Um, we've got a new view coming in the agents panel. This is going to expand into a whole like League of Legends style view. We can see what's been coming by looking at our recent created pages, but you can see here tabs on tables, tags on tables. That's going to be really nice because you could say like budget, this, leads, these. Um, I think we need the HD icons. We need this to be able to close. We need the AI to be able to hear me recording right now, so I can like click Aura right here and then just be like, all right, make sure to log everything as I talk. And then it's just like organizing as I talk, which is going to be so much more useful because like all the things I just listed, like that should just be logged already. Um, but yeah, here's my tables, which is basically the equivalent of like Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. And I've only ran a few like things through here as far as like updates. So what you see is basically just the beginning, but there'll be collapsible sections here, shareability to spaces. This will collapse. It will basically harden like you would see in like the Pages app, which we have over here. Where like in the Pages app, ironically, I found a flaw. Perfect. Here's a great one to fix. Yeah. See it when it's on the left, this sidebar is missing. Oh, now it's showing. It's because when you go low and it's closed, that's how you do it. So you have to figure out how to explain and catch these little bugs that someone would hit. And okay, so I have Pages in the left panel. I make it small. I open it, I close it, I make it small, I make it page in, Pages in the left panel. I'm on recents. Well, I guess I'll just worry about it if it repeats itself. Another one I'd like to throw in there as you keep moving things forward across everything. The tables sidebar doesn't have a open close toggle. It should be exactly like Pages where it's always there so that you can access to open and close. It's always in the same spot. And then we need to have all the sections that Pages have in the sidebar for all the collapsibility, personal, recents, all the things, everything like the Pages sidebar. It's just for tables instead of pages. That includes the trash, that includes the spaces, folders, create logic, plus buttons, home, my pages for each space, just like Pages have everything, just like Pages, but for tables. So that should get a lot done there because if you go to Pages, you've got a lot of really crazy things built. We already have all the collapsibility. We have space, basically like team, group, community, client, personal, project, just area, infrastructure. It's called spaces. So I have a lot of things that are just for me, for tests, for drafts, for concepts, but also for clients. Some of these make me 15 grand a month, hopefully more in the next few weeks. But like as a user, anyone can just monetize the space. They just go to spaces, click on offers once they connect their Stripe and they create an offer. And then they customize that offer. And then they share that offer. And you can customize this offer inside of a custom app. These are the components. And we have like components for booking. Here's a great example. So here's like a component to book, right? It's built by the cloud. Here's a component to check out a subscription for 20 grand a month, which by the way, need comma on the money spots at large. This is on offer page. Also, where is the new segmented sites for offers and space site customizability for offers and embed MCP/studio for custom apps to show and then not show, but function the top studio offers and data points. So basically the same way, like this call link, if I go to this custom website, so I'm on a custom like React app that happens to be a pitch deck, that happens to be built by the cloud, hosted by the cloud, but completely customized. You wouldn't know that it's hosted by the cloud, except for the fact that it's a cloud deck. So I can go to a different concept like this one. And so you can build any, this is a bad one. So you can build a completely, this is, let me do this. Yeah, completely custom, nothing about the cloud. It's just it's a web shop, crazy shop abilities, dopest, brutalist, epic shopping experience ever that works. You can build that or you can build a pitch deck with the cloud, but you can also plug in a cloud booking link. So I don't need Calendly, I don't need Framer, I don't need blah, 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 because I have it all right here. Long way to go, obviously, but it's a pretty big deal. So the same components that would be in like a subscription, you could have your custom app that does the subscription. You can be your own app. So it's basically like Stripe, and Stripe is built as a conduit in those payment rails, but we can plug in other payment rails in the conduit. Um, so yeah, and it's pretty cool because like if I build a list, then I have data sheets of basically everything, right? So cool. I'm gonna hop off and go on my work date. Thanks for watching.